Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Richie's Gaming Gadgets and Gizmos. Sorry I've been away for about 2 weeks. I've been doing a lot of traveling on business, but now I'm back. And I've had a lot of fun with this GPD WIN. I've had it for a couple of weeks now and I've tried a number of emulators. What I want to show today is the PlayStation 2 emulator. Yes, I said it. PlayStation 2. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, PlayStation 2 emulation on the GPD WIN. So, PlayStation 2, you sit over there. What I like about the GPD WIN is that it is powerful enough that yes, it can play PS2 games pretty well. So in this video, I just want to talk about this emulator called the PCSX PS2 emulator. You can just Google it, Google PS2 emulators. This will come up because this is a very popular and a very stable and a very good emulator for the PS2. So to quickly install it and get it running, download the app, right, and install it. Pretty simple, right? Basic Windows program. And then when you run it, you're going to get the screen here. Now, before you go any further, what you also need the BIOS. BIOS stands for Basic Input Output System, I think, and you need the BIOS from the PS2 system. Now, if you have a PS2 system, you should use the BIOS from your PS2 system, but there are other sources, and I'll leave that to your creativity to find the PS2 BIOS. But you do need the PS2 BIOS for it to work. Once you've done that, what you do, download that BIOS and download it in the same directory that you install your PSX2 emulator. So let me show you what I did here. So let me go into my directory. So just for the purposes of this video, I could show you on the small screen of the GPD WIN. But what I did, I just hooked up a simple, because the GPD WIN has at the back, which is really cool, it has a regular USB port, so I can actually put in my wireless dongle and connect to an external keyboard, right? And Bluetooth keyboard. And there's also a micro HDMI port, so I can just you can go to any computer store, you can get a micro HDMI port to HDMI port cable, so that you can hook it up to a big screen TV. And hey, it's Windows 10, so if you don't want that wire, you can get something called a Microsoft Wireless Media Adapter. Not to worry, I will do a video on some of the cool accessories that I found worked well with this, so stay tuned for that video. So anyway, back on track. So, in this directory here, so download the app, install it, then you get the BIOS, alright, get the BIOS files, and then what you do, let me show you where you install the BIOS files. Now create a directory, anywhere your directory, just know where your directory is. I created one called PS2 ROMs and BIOS, so I just created that. And in that directory, you put all of your BIOS files, as well as your ISOs, and the ISOs are the actual the games themselves, right? So the ISOs, I have like my PS2 collection. So what I did, I actually converted them to ISO files. So I have Contra Shattered Soldier here, Call of Duty 3. I have 2 of them here. So just make sure you put your BIOS and your ISO files all in the same directories. It's easy to find them later, right? Once you've done that, let's get out of there, and then you run the PSX2 program. This window is going to come up, and it's in here where you actually, I think when you run it for the first time, because I've actually run it before, it's going to ask you, yeah, that's it, it's going to ask you where your BIOS files are located. So you just point the program, the application, to those BIOS files, and you're most probably going to get a list of different BIOS files. You're going to get, like, for the US, Japan, different places. So wherever you are, select the BIOS that's related to where the games are from. So I'm US, so I'll be picking the US BIOS. Once that's much done, all you do then is you go to the System tab here, and then what you're going to have to do is actually, where is it here? It says CD DVD. You go to C DVD. This is the second tab here, and you're going to select here at the bottom here and have ISO. You have a choice of ISO, plugin, or no disk. Click on the ISO tab, right? So that the ISO is selected, and then what you're going to go here is to ISO selector, and this is where you actually browse for your ISO games. So remember that directory I was telling you about? Go to that directory, and in my directory, I actually have right here before, so it comes right up. And here's my Contra Shattered Soldier file. So I just double click on that, and it has remembered it. Now, how do I run the game? And I think this is where a lot of people get a little stuck. All you do, go to CDVD. Sorry, not CDVD. Go to System, that's more like it. And you can press, I usually go reboot CDVD fast. You can do full as well. But you just click that. Now it says here, this action will reset the existing PS2 virtual machine state. All current progress will be lost. Are you sure? Yeah, because I was actually playing the game earlier, so I'm just going to say yes, reset to regular settings, and that's it. So in a couple of seconds, my game, Contra Shattered Soldier, as you can see here, is about to start. This is one of my favorite games. I love my running and shooting games, but this is really good. Now, some games you may need to tweak for speed. Maybe just pause this for a second and go back. Some games may run well. Some games may run a bit slow. So what's good about this PCSX program, you can go here to the under configure, and you go to emulation settings here, and it's in here that you can actually play around, and they do have a number of like pre-done hacks. So all you have to do, and you just play around with it, and depending on the game you're playing with, what's good, you can actually have the game running in one window, right? Like here, right? And then while it's running, you can actually tweak and try your different hacks and play around with the frame rates, adjust the frame rates, clamping mode, and just play around with the settings until you get what you like. Now, what's good about the PS2 is that there's not a lot of tweaking that has to be done. It's not like the PSP emulator. Anybody familiar with the PCSX PS2 emulator? There's like 100 different tweaks and mods you can make. It takes a while to configure, but with this PS2 emulator, it's much easier. They have a lot of pre-done hacks, and it's only a couple of switches that you have to play around with, and the default settings for most of the games work well, so you don't have to come in here, but if you do, this is where you go and play around. So you can play around with the audio settings and graphics. And I just loaded this Contra game, and it's a really good game. That being said, that's how you pretty much, high level, how you set up your PS2 emulator. It's very simple. Quick recap. Get the app, download it, run the executable, install the application. Then you have to get the BIOS files for your PS2. Very important. You can get them anywhere. You just be very creative. Google search them. You can find them. But if you have a PS2 like me, you can get them. You can get it off of there as well. And for me, it's easy. I just put all my games and all my BIOS in one directory. Again, when it comes to games, if you already have PS2 games, convert into ISOs. There are lots of programs out there that help you create disk images of your games into ISO file. Once you do that, put them all in one directory, come back in here, and then you point to the ISO that you want to run, and then you just run it, and you can play. Now what's good about the GPD WIN is that when it comes to the gamepad is automatically configured to work with this emulator. As with most other emulators that run on this thing, no configuration is needed. Thanks to this little switch here, you can just put it into that Xbox One gamepad mode, and the emulators automatically pick it up, so you can start playing right away. Let me just quickly show you here. Where's my mouse? There it is. And here's the Contra game I was just playing. I just press start here. Is it this one? I think I paused it. System, reboot, do it again. Yeah. So it loads pretty fast, and as you can see, automatically works gamepad. So this is the big screen, and I actually, it's pretty good gameplay, pretty fluid. Nice! Oops! That's not good. Alright, I sense a boss coming up. Boss mode. Or mini boss mode. Gotta love Contra, man. Now here it is on the small screen. Now one thing I forgot to mention, lower the volume a bit. I did have the resolution at 640 by 480 on the big screen, so that's why it looks a little granular. But of course when I have that same resolution on my mini 5.5 inch gorgeous display of the GPD WIN, it looks way better. And again, I mean, that's what it's all about, right? Having this PS2 in the palm of your hand. Let's get to playing Contra, Shattered Soldier. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and as I always say in my videos, stuff that I do test out, I do have links below the screen where you can actually buy these. You can get this here off of GearBest. Really great site. I strongly recommend you go check them out. Until next time, guys, take care and bye bye. Hey everybody, so I hope you enjoyed that video. Now I'm going to ask you to do two things before you leave. One, there's a button right up here on the screen to my right here. Click on that and that will take you to our website, www.redtechbot.com. When you get on that site, there will be a button there where you can actually sign up for our newsletter. And when you do sign up for our newsletter by entering in your email address, you will automatically be entered into all of our tech giveaways. And by tech giveaways, these are some typical examples of what we will be giving away, and these are some examples. There's other stuff as well. And the good news is, you just have to enter your email address once, and it will automatically be entered into the pool every time we do a draw. And we will use that email address, of course, to contact the winner to tell them, hey, you've won something, and it's really cool. And of course, the newsletter will have updates on tech reviews, what's coming up new, what's coming up next, new stuff in the industry, and even information on future giveaways, right? So it's really nice newsletter that we're going to be sending out. And one other thing is, on this side on the screen here, up here on my left, you click on that and you will subscribe to the channel. Now by subscribing, of course, you will be at the forefront of any new things that are happening, any new videos that are coming out. And what I will also be doing is I'll be doing videos where I'll be talking about what we're going to be doing as a next giveaway, right? So you want to be subscribed, tuned in to that as well. So it's going to be a fun year and fun years to come as well. So yeah, that being said, you guys have a great day.